things clear up and your vision gets clearer and you can't stop listening to misery's mirror. When knee-deep turns to an ankle weight and justice isn't about lies made. When horizon is open and the car isn't in reverse and honesty isn't about money in a purse. When you admit to yourself that you have to change and you're given another chance to hold on to the reins. It ain't no beer bottle, it ain't on no piece of paper, it can't be found inside a rolling paper sitting on a diaper at sundown. No, my friend, it can only be found inside. And every part of you inside tells you it ain't right. You don't deserve that carriage that's a-coming. You don't belong to that chorus that's a-singing, but you do, and it's there. And the thing about it is you got to listen and hear how it was made for you. Then wallowing in misery is just another chapter in a pity routine that you and I know is only a dream. And the truth and happiness are only another fictional story that you thought you heard when you were a boy and pretended to be a bird, but the innocence is back when you reach out and grab onto a third step's hand with grace and willingness to understand. And you begin to notice sunsets, and you start to see one kind of truth with two kinds of smiles and 12 ways to make your life fit into a day. And the sorrow is gone, and lament is left behind, and your friends begin to become more aware, and their eyes can see your heart as they sit across from you in a bathrobe in a green chair and laugh about the story you told. And he's special, and you know it, and you never had a friend before who rose up from a chair to close the door and told you something you never heard before, that he loves you and hopes you do well, and you never thought you could love someone, and love could come from anyone, especially from a friend. My friend, your head needed fixing and needed bad because your corridor was narrow and long and your mouth could only close upside down. Your breath could only intoxicate a rose. And relationships with friends could only knock down two kinds of walls. And you needed it bad, and you can find it in the plot below or in a church basement of your choice. You find silence below and you find hope in a church basement. Welcome to Jazzy Times and Butterfly Minds. Wallet. The lies we told one another, the gaze you had when our eyes met, the enchantment, now the regret, and what became of our dream, together on a highway, driving for miles, what happened? Don't talk to me, I can't smile. My heart is on the hardwood floor, and my dignity lies outside the door, and don't question my phrase, my lies are basic these days. Need I remind you of the lies we told one another? Care to take a listen to the lament of a child's scream or an old man's death? What glistens in moonbeams to the tears of the blood? Neither. You lied, so did I. I gave you away, you were angry, and I didn't pay, but I left my wallet in the bedroom. Care to take another look at the inside of my book? Sometimes I still find your notes hidden in the back pages, and your fingers on my tip oftentimes made me lose it. Any control I had at one time was lost in that ecstatic beam that shot like a rocket down your throat, and you said you loved me as you swallowed it. You told me that Terry was just a friend. You told me you quit seeing Mary. You told me that Jack, Samuel, Johnny, and Jose, they were all gone too, and they left for me. Why not for you? And you said that your hair was naturally that color. You told me she hit you. You said the closet was empty. You said I was dead. You cried to me to go outside. And you told me that you never lied. And I told you that I quit it all, and I said that I didn't like her at all. My lips never touched hers, and I told you that I had no desire when factually that's all I had. And I lied to you many times as I lay on your bed. And I missed the inside of your head. Remember the first and the last lie? I love you. Treats. It's all over, it's all done, the future's been cast, and I'm the befuddled one. Doomsday is coming soon, it's getting gloomy, it's getting dark, and I can't quite make out that lark. And it's clear that the end is near, and it's time to give up and quit. Because children in war have all combined, and our lives are corrupt, and we're out of time. And you want to get out and leave this place. I see those looks on your face, and the door is locked, and the building's on fire, and no one believes you. They call you a liar. They don't even listen as you yell. Because the last guy lied about his death, and they think you're no better than everyone else. So all your life has come to this point, and nothing at all matters until death comes and batters down your door with you in bed with a lifetime horror. The one of misery, deceit, and pain, and when you die, it's over until it starts again. There's old pain revisited, new pain acquired, and it's all a game, no one's sane. And you fill your tub with tears, and you can't get away from all those fears. And everyone is out to get you. Everyone wants to see you fail. Why is life so damn mean? You curse yourself in some way obscene, but one day you'll wake up and find that you're not the only one with pain on your mind. And don't be afraid of the unknown. It's not something you can own. It's that feeling inside your chest, that old decaying nest. In your mind, it's been fine, and there ain't nothing you can do except wait up and start anew and let out a breath and face the day and remember it's okay. And there's a lot of hate in this world, a lot of hate bottled up. Battles rage on one's paradise beaches, and no one wins, no one feeds on the fruits of victory. Religion or hair color can start a war, and all you can say is no more. No more will I be the pawn, no more will I be the only one. There's a plastic cross on the rear view, bubblegum on the pews, and it's stuck there by a human saint. And you say, man, no it ain't, but it's all the same, no time to complain. Drinking the old graveyard, standing on the ground that's hard, beneath your relatives lie, young girls cry, you push them away and tell them it's okay. Power surrounds us on all sides, everyone wants to tell you how to be, and you say, well, tell someone else, because that's not important to me. And they want to tell you how to make $1 million, but who really gives a fuck? Girls with their figure-perfect Barbie dolls and boys plugged into TVs with little men who can start a war at the touch of a button. But we're all weak. We're all controlled by a button. Even a saint, even the leader of a military brigade has to look around to find he's only said 2 words, do, and the other die in his tent alone. He cries. We all feel. So the die been cast, my friend. You can see that there's no way out, no end. You just got to buckle down and deal and order another meal, and it's okay. It's fine. And the thing about it is you're right on line. Heading straight on the path of corruption, so just shut up and stop your fussing. People can trick you in all kind of ways. They can take your money and they can make you pay again and again, making you feel like a special one, but you're not. You're just one more person having no fun. No matter what that flag cover salesman tells you, you don't look good in that car, even from afar, and that car won't let you fly or put off your time to die, and you won't win a race or get a girl with a pretty face. So just let it roll and swing your change out the window, pay the toll. And you want to be alone, I know how it is, so you climb upstairs, lock yourself in, sit there vibrating with fear and sin, and say to the whole world, don't come in. And it's safe for a while until someone comes down the aisle and they try to be quiet so they don't see you, but temptation leads them right to you, almost through you. His foot hits your face, he calls you a disgrace, you can't believe he actually saw you, he shakes you up, you cough and moan, you thought your fear was all gone. So you think you're the loner, the outcast, and no one wants to see how fast you can run from here to there, they just don't care. So you think the best solution is to go right on shooting at your mark and fuck everything, including that lark. You don't belong to anyone, anything, ain't that a sad song, so close your eyes and try to forget the pain that you did get. And there's something controlling us, I know you can feel it, because some guy's telling us what to do because he thinks he's better than you, and chances are he might be, but so stagger Lee. And it don't make a lick of difference about what he says we have to do, because all you got is holes in your shoes, your grandmother's locket, and 2 empty pockets. Remember what I said? November 12th, evening of the boys. We dressed the parts, became something we never had before, and I wheeled it inside the theater, and he played the part of cripple. Saw a friend in the front row, so we sat down, conversed, watched the pre-show act. I dug within my back for playing cards. I dug deep, found rice, shoes, a light, and she came over then. I was only half there, but I remember her voice. We watched the show, left, and crazily pushed the wheelchair up the cement, exhilarating boyhood energy coarsely pumping out of a young heart, then through the eyes, later the nostrils. Got in the front seat and laughed about the evening. The case of cheap pain came in 24-packs then. For 4 years, I ran through hallways and behind buildings, and I always bumped elbows, sometimes with friends, and then I stumbled. She told me of a sweet spring north of me, the recipient of word emotion concordant with time, apart from hallways and deception of the corridor of the mind. Pressing newly bought oil into my skin, I approached the north. checked the reflection in the rear view, and turned the noise to the left. Trips up and down the road, I saw her smile come through the window as the door was opened, lit up. A plastic Mary stood over a baby Christ, and I took her arm and we strolled, an old married couple, up the hill. Sober eyes watched her every move. She became queen atop a brick wall, the same wall that I stood atop as if king when I was a boy, my father's hand on my back. We sat in the window and it began to rain, shone like glitter in her eyes, taught me of flirtatious raindrops that patter on the ground. There are stellar attractions in everyone. She left me with a kiss on the hand, and I listened to her voice now, talking in my mind's hallway. Call her up, explain my passion for the arts. Call her up and tell her why I sing. Call her up and tell her what makes me happy. Never call to complain. Never call to talk about the shelf of the past. And now I look on life as a game. We play. The only time we lose is when we lose ourselves. So the trees died, and the snow fell, and with the snow my heart fell into her hands. And it happened the night she left for home. Tree eyes that caught her first gaze watched her leave. The dinner and the candles warmed my soul, and her gaze made my heart rise to my throat. Her smile and her laugh touched inside. The streetlight kept coming back on, kept blinking in the night, kept ringing out with illumination. It's happened 3 times in my life. And I still hunger, I still weep, and I still feel, and the pain is what wakes me up, and it's what puts me to bed. And I became aware of tranquility and fear on a winter night. His voice still causes my heart and my fear to awaken from slumber. And I'll never forget, he didn't skip a beat when my wheel slipped and death faced my eye before a tree above a bank, and I walked. Turned my back to the lady who refused me coffee at 2 in the morning. Those painful hours at the police station, the youthful squirming that comes about in plastic chairs next to a vending machine. And I found my friend again, the one I visited many times before, and I found him in a bottle, trapped and uncomfortable. I released him, saved him, his arms around my shirt collar. I began to push myself away from reality's holler. So I dreamed of her that night as she lay beside me, and everything seemed to laugh and embrace the moment's corner. The children were lost, and it happened, captured the moment, owned it. When the children awoke, our eyes were lit. Do you ever feel tears roll down your cheek after 8 days? And it hurts to be alone after your share, and I always got picked last. Time went on, intoxication came on strong, and I wonder, looking glass, Susanna curls with straight eyebrows, what happened? Who left the building when the flowers caught fire? The hole grew bigger, and my mind escaped as the voice sang about Meyer. I thought you were going to die, and what made me quit before, and how did I change, and what went wrong? It seemed the innocence was all gone. The bottle of whiskey and the confrontation later. I was no longer the satyr. The castle was still a jail. She was there when I started to go, and she saw it all as the bottle flowed. Look at Janice gazing both backward and forward. He has 2 heads, one's in a coma. Depression limits your view, and it causes the pain to flow vibrantly inside. Pinwheel collaboration on the brink of my own insanity. Inside is where I discovered pain, and it was inside that I was forced to look when she left for home again. I got a job on a river in the woods. Secluded myself. She called me on the phone, told me of her day, and I felt empty. The month I spent alone was absence of self. Toxins eased pain, but still insane. I got on at 7 and off at 5. It was so beautiful, crazy, and quiet. Insanity to watch how the sun kept us both on the ridge, and my hand placed on her face, and I knew when I wiped the tears off her cheek, desire and need, the inside of my chest. With her I could rest. Rest my mind, rest my insanity, and let life live once again. Spent another month alone trying to find myself by placing paper on my tongue, and it didn't work, and I felt like a dried out piece of clay, and I felt the pain of martyrs as my failure revealed itself. And my shoes were wet, and my friends disgruntled. Everything seemed to be coming to a climax, from pictures on the wall. I was out of my head and out of my mind, and the stairway that led to the 2nd floor stares at me now like never before, and I remember watching her gaze out the window. And now it's over, we can't continue, at least not the way it was going. It was love without knowing, and I trust her because she's a trusting person, and I believe in her without even going. And I cry for her because the cut runs deep, and I thank her for saving me from that eternal sleep. And I know it seems odd that I've seen these things as a young man, but it's how I think, it's how I am. And I love her more than all the blinks that eyes have made, the fluttering like palpitation of one's heart. And I counted the days until I could see her, but it wasn't right, and I knew the pain was near her, and I'll always love her no matter how the rivers divide. A true love never dies. Pomegranate. It's coming to a head today from the foam-topped glass in the pub on top of the mahogany counter to the candles that line the flatness of the surface. Its loneliness, pitiful worth, head jams into the depths of a book, the journey into his dreamland, the trip across the river. The 6 pomegranate seeds she ate, the winter I abhor, and the testimony and the pain that you adore. As eyes focus in and out, the empty, forgetful self, there's compulsion, compassion, the lack of drive, a sense of knowing, and the question why. The answer, yes, the pride left downstairs in mother's chair. Father moved a week ago. What can it be? What do you know? About anything anymore. Just when you had solved the riddle, your cat leaped from the windowsill. Fiddle with it. Communicate the reason for your perched approach, actuality of self-worth. And eyes smolder in steam. Is it unknown? Is it the gown, the crown, the semen, or the dream? Can you remember your dream about leading this battle? Misinterpreted things with wings of confusion. Living a bird's life is a hassle. The tassel that hung from the cap, the gown, will never become a dress again. Share it, round curriculum, the tape circle. What made you reach a point of external realization? Before you leave, here's an empty stack. Write your life down in one-syllable words. Tell your tale, you must be heard. Drama. I'm tired, don't bother me, and it stems from some inner thing that troubles my mind and makes me blind, and it happened one evening, my friend. I offered my ideas to the inside, sure and truism of acceptance, and the proposal was refused. Can you see my confusion? This time has nothing to do with me, and have you ever read your friend's name off a gravestone? We were close when I was 17. Blame still follows your steps, and my mind needs to rest, for tomorrow will be harder than today, and the clay that molded me is wet and thinning, and an attempt is made to hold the pieces together, and I'm tired, don't bother me. And I exist in some realm of wishfulness, a hopeful chance. Lackadaisical is where she is. She has no offense to place it back in my face, and when I offer consolence, it's blushed and set aside. When I saw her today, my concentration died, and I could no longer see my reflection in a glass filled with hesitation, and my mind screamed and burst apart, and my fist slammed hard. And in the same phrase of hate, my caring side is exposed, a weak trait, and I'm tired, don't bother me. You just got to reach out, my friend, and embrace the pain again, and greet it, and tell it how you feel, and there it is in the next room, fear. Fear that nothing will work out, fear that nothingness is what it's all about, and I'm tired of mine. Accustomed to this, it's numbed and gone, displaced, lost in song. And I'm tired, don't bother me. And I turn my faith over to something I can't see, but I can feel them all around me, and the truth is, it's just one more little thing that has nothing, no bearing, no feeling in the overall scheme, and what I wished for became a dream, that you could never come true, and it's all about me, it's not about you. My rage for things I cannot control holds me, and it won't let me go, and I let it, and that's the admirable thing, that tears and rage mix as one, and it's all over, and it's all done, and I've used this line before, but I can't give up. I can't run. I need to hold on tight and ride this one out, and never bend down, keep my head high, my feet on the street, and my mind in bounds, and I'm tired. Don't bother me. I'm a child who never learned to cry, and I took a breath today, and I apologized, and I see her far away, and I was right there yesterday. She asked me to hate her. Is that fair? This whole thing is dramatic as hell. How do you let go and how can you tell? This is just another lesson you got to learn about absence and prevention of lashing on. And you know that you're the best around. Stand on your head, you change a frown, and this is the feeling I get when it's gray and wet. My mind asks me some question and I answer. I'm tired, don't bother me. The Billboard of America consists of $13 in the American youth, and I saw 15,000 gathered in one place. 3 knew why they were there. What constitutes a rebellion, reform, and radicalists have all conformed to create some absent-minded roaming. The long hair, the short hair, the ring through the lip, the African influence, the tattoos, the drugs, the lack of drugs, the anger, the peace, the clothes, the lack of clothes, the food, the vegetarian, the vegan, the meat eater. Everyone's making a statement about who they are, and in Nazi Germany, a star was worn to tell the government who you were, and in America, you wear a t-shirt. For $13.58, you can display who you are and fit in. And I begged Mother to buy me a hippie, vegan, supreme, drug-free, fascist, communist, save the whales, love, hate, peace, death shirt. But she wouldn't. Alan, has anything changed? America did fuck itself, and now we're all the offspring of atomic conception. And my next-door neighbor represents one view, been that way for 3 months, and is now committed for life. Don't kill animals, I love violence. A member of the National Walking Contradiction Hypocrite Society. And I freely admit my values have changed, but I refuse to advertise my views, and if I intend to admit anything today, it will be the fact that my pockets are empty, and no longer does America turn me on. What's the fashion label for today? Who will you be, and what phrase makes you breathe? And I can't understand why we've become a generation who intends to repeat what's already been done. The beer boys, the dope boys, the lost eyes, and the confused minds were all a product of our father's insanity. America, you screwed us with your power-hungry loins, and now we can't even see our face in the crowd. And it pains me to realize that you made us this way. You created a chaotic water in which we were all submerged, and now I can feel your hand grab for me in the darkness. And I've saved enough money to buy my own t-shirt, and it tells the world who I am, what my morals are, and I've become another one of society's billboards. Ginsburg told us this was serious, and no one listened. And I take the ignorance of America seriously. The feelings disgust me and cannot be numbed, cannot be extinguished in my eyes. And she tells me she's not a racist because she fucked a black man, and he's not a racist because he makes eye contact. Why the attempt? Why the effort? Isn't it just a game you're playing to convince yourself you fit the image on your shirt? And you fight back your urge to elicit guilt onto the world? That when asked to defend, there's only a pain in your chest as you can't even sensibly remember why you became who you are. And there's some line about how you hate this country and another line about your home. But my friend, what part of your misery do you own? And when you point a finger, I see 3 come back, and your morals lie squirming and dying on the floor, and it's just another statement about fashion. Do you hear me? America is dead.